Okay, everyone. I believe people can be able to hear us. We are live. We'll be talking so many various things together with Liz. Liz, welcome. And I don't know how to invite myself to your YouTube channel.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for having me today, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to share with you.
Yes. I know it is late for some other people who are in maybe Africa. Special maybe is almost at 1, 2 a.m. But depending on some of the countries. But I believe people can get some of these one when we put it live. I mean, they can watch the recording if they don't get the opportunity. But I see some other people are already coming up. So for that particular case, will be the topic for today. Will be talking about various rules. Some are written, some are cultural, are not written. About the family, how to raise the children, especially in these countries. We are not perfect parents, but we are learning as immigrant ourselves. But also the challenges overall and how we can be able to succeed. So not all the time, okay, let's come to America, but what next after arriving there? That is today's topic. Okay. On my case, first of all, I'm married with the 3 kids so far. The first one is a boy. Benedict is 10 years old. He just turned 10 like 3 weeks ago. Then the second one is a girl, Claire, 5 years, and then the last one is Faustina, is a girl, is going to be 2 in the month of May. Yeah, and I've been married for about how many years now? uh, Almost since 2010, so almost going to 11 years now. Yeah,
Wow, that's a long time.
yeah. So and I've been in USC 12 and a half years. So a lot of learning. What about on your end?
Um, so on my end, of course, my name is Liz, and check out my channel if you are new here. Just type in "Roll with Liz" and you'll find my channel. And so, a little bit about me is I'm born and raised in Uganda, and currently I live in Colorado, USA. And I also have a family. I have a husband. I have a child. We have one daughter. She's 2.5 now, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, so I posted it there, Liz's channel, which you can be able to go and please try your best to subscribe. She is also a YouTuber, and also she shares a lot of things like how many things I'm sharing. And I can share the screen here. You can be able to see what I mean by her channel, and it is a good way to. Oh, sorry, I think I made something wrong here. Okay. Okay, so that is Liz's channel. You can be able to see this is her YouTube channel, where she is making a lot of videos. You can see we are live there, but most of the videos she's posting a lot of good experience for people who are in America going to Africa. Like yesterday, she was live with this guy who was a Peace Corps in Uganda. So that was a very good live interview. So please subscribe. So there are so many good content from her channel where you can be able to learn. So there are so many good things as I've been able to mention. So okay, so that was just to make sure that you know her channel, and my channel is EBM Scholars channel, where you can be also be able to go and watch my YouTube channel. Please subscribe in case you haven't done so. You can be able to be part of my learning, my videos. I've been able to give so many information. Okay, let me stop sharing the screen and we can continue. So let me start with a question, and it will be back and forth questions. You can be able to ask me, and I can be able to ask you questions. Let me start with one question. Uh, you were raised in Uganda, and
Correct.
now you are raising a child in America. What preparation did you have to prepare
Uh,
yourself for those raising a child into Nani Amatoke land?
So for me, see, I don't think I was ready for the cultural differences, but once you're on ground, you just adjust to it. My major challenge, I remember when we first came, was I couldn't find the porridge because there's only puree foods and all these sugary things and not so much of the porridge type we are used to,
Yes.
until I had to keep looking for an African store where I can find this millet porridge, the soya porridge, all these types of porridges. So that was a bit tricky, but we managed because at that point you just have to readjust and look for other alternatives. So that's what we did. So I think partly that was the food. The food was the major challenge when we first came. But like I said, we just kept looking for another solution and we got some really good ones.
I'm glad. Also for the food wise, yeah. Speaking of food, there are food we know for sure. It is easier while we are there. We know how to cook them, to prepare them for the kids and other things. And one of the on my end, for instance, I grew up into the mindset and knowing that. Do you know, like when you get a medicine and you are told that you are not supposed to drink milk, but that I had that was that's I brought that concept one day. I don't know, it was Benedict or somebody, and Marie asked me, "So do you know the kids, babies drink milk every single day, right?" Yes, but they take medicine too, and they get well. Is this the reason why they don't drink milk so that the adults can have more milk, like cow's milk, like kind of that? Because I don't know, because that my entire like my childhood upbringing was like put into test, like oh, so those are the few things like there are things like we grew up like knowing that these are the best way on how to you see every child has to do the same thing, but now we are in the different environment. Obviously we have to learn and we have to adapt to find how can we be able to mix both of the two.
Right.
uh, I remember I asked you one time you about the usual like the uh, just about the language in general, about the lifestyle at the home. But for me, also the because we live in America or whatever country you want to live, whether you are married to the same person of the same country or someone from another country, the country where you live in that country will have the bigger influence for your marriage, and will have the bigger influence also for your children. That is the dominant culture. So even if I'm from Africa, no matter how much I want to be African, but America will completely overshadow everything. My kids don't have the same accent, and they will never have that one because this is the dominant culture. So, like, even the food wise, yes, I would like them to eat like ugali and everything, but the dominant culture is not that one. How do you cope with that kind of understanding to accept that I don't know whether I say I'm defeated. This is the dominant culture. This is how it is now.
So for me, for example, for the food and every other thing, like I said, you just look around for the stores that will have the food you're looking for. I recently found an African store that sell millet flour. I had not found the millet flour since I came. So I got that, and you just have to improvise. And every now and again, if you want to eat your African food, you look around. If you find it, well and good. If you don't find it, go and buy pizza. You still don't be too concentrated on, oh, I miss my food, I miss my local culture dressing. And adjusting is key. You adjust and get used to the system and don't beat yourself too hard.
And that is, I mean, it takes a lot of adjustment. Myself, I've been here 12 and a half years, but there are so many type of food I don't eat up to this moment. So I don't know whether it's just not to accept 100% that I'm here or not. Yeah. But again, like uh, for me also, I don't know. It's just because we want better things for our kids, so it becomes easier to
Mhm.
find what are the better ways to raise a child. First of all, in this uh, current situation, even if you are in Africa,
Mhm.
if you grew up in maybe in the village and now you are in Kampala or in Tebe, you will not be raised the same. Like now you are a parent, you live in town, you don't raise the same child. Like, okay, you have to walk 10 kilometers or 5 kilometers to go to school. There are buses, so they have all the school bus, they are there. So everything is changing. Whether you have to say they are soft or not soft, but you have to do what it is so that you can be able to provide better things for your children. There are people who are maybe they are the lottery winners. They have kids. Either they are single parents or they are husband and wife with a child or children. When they want to come here, one of the questions they usually ask me is about uh, balancing between work and having a child. Whether you can take a child, you find the babysitter, house girl, housemaid, whatever. How does that work for you as a mother?
So, so if you're planning to travel to come to America in particular, or go to these European countries or what we call the developed countries, you have to prepare yourself to adjust to the situation, because most people will not afford housemaids, will not afford living nannies or to help you with family. So you have to mentally be ready, otherwise it's going to be tough. For example, for me, I work from home and I also have a toddler that is running around and doing things. So I kill two birds with one stone. I have to work and I have to be on time, make sure everything is right, and also take care of her every now and again on my small short breaks. So, yeah, just prepare yourself to adjust to the life that you're going to be living. It is very capitalistic, most of these countries, and you have to set your mind to not, you can be overwhelmed coming from a country like Uganda. Myself, we are so laid back, we are not fast paced as it is here. So once you come here, you may get overwhelmed and say and you end up, I don't know, getting so disappointed. But preparing yourself mentally, I think, would mean something. I saw someone saying, um, it's good to plan to make a good credit score once you land here, because it will help you get so many things like housing, buying a car, and all these things. I don't Maybe you could go into detail on that, because
Oh,
personally I don't know much about it.
yes. So when you arrive here, and here I think I have on my drawer, I don't know, you'll be getting a lot of mail, like we call junk mail, but most of these are just notification. Sometimes you have been pre-qualified to be given this kind of loan. Maybe you are going to be given this amount of money, like 50,000, 10,000, or 5,000, pre-qualified for to be able to be given something. But credit card is this way. In Africa, for instance, we do this thing, but in informal way. You're my friend, you're my neighbor. I come to you and I ask you, can I borrow maybe $10? I'll pay you on this day. You agree just by words. On that day comes, or 2 days before, if someone pays, next time that person comes to borrow money from you, you are confident you'll give that person the money, because this person pays me back before even the time he said. But there are some people, they are friends we know. Usually, you don't borrow them, because if they get the money from you, they usually it's a war to get the money back. They don't pay back. They will start asking you, oh, I didn't, my wife now has a baby. It's just abruptly but they come with so many excuses,
Hmm.
and it can take maybe, like they say, on 1st of March, you can get the money in September. So that person, if comes here again, you'll never give the money. Also, other neighbors, they talk around that, don't give the money to that person anymore. If you don't go to the neighbor's funeral, they don't come to your funeral. So that is a credit system of Africa. How they can be able to keep you accountable, how they can be able to put you in a position where they can be able comfortable to say, we trust this person. So the trustworthiness in Africa is tested through that way. How do you live with your neighbors when you borrow something, or someone comes to borrow from you? Those kind of things. But here we don't live in that kind of life. Is 100% individualistic life. So the only way you go to get the money from the bank, so they can give you through the card, just what you call the credit card. Uh, Credit card is just a loan, the money they put in the card. That's all. But it's not like the debit card is my money, which is on the bank, which I deposit myself. So there is no interest on my money, like how I use my credit. So they give you maybe 500 to use it. So the agreement will be on a monthly basis, on every maybe 20th of the month, you have to pay $25. That's all. So they don't tell you the tricks on how to use that credit. I come from Africa. I do not know. I get my credit card. This is the card. The next thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to the movie theater. What am I going to do? I'm going to buy fufu or buy jollof, buy whatever ugari, buy. You just start spending that. You think that is the money for you. And then, first of all, you are going to use almost the full 500. That's the biggest mistake. How do they trust you? If they give you the money, they want to see you are using slowly amount. They don't tell you. If you use more than 50% of your credit limit, if the limit is they tell 500, never go 50%. Because if you go more than 50%, they know this guy is a broke guy. All the time is in trouble. You see? Number two. So usually for me, if they say 50%, don't go even more than 20. It's a game. Have a credit card to build the credit, not a credit card to live your life. Secondly, when they say the minimum pay is $20, I'm giving example. Remember, it is a computer is going to, when you send, you pay, the computer is going to determine that, oh, you paid your money. If you don't pay, the computer is going to say this person didn't pay on time. If you paid less, the computer is going to detect you paid less. So you have to play how you are going to beat the computer. Number one, you have to pay before that debt. So if your debt is 20th, go pay 5 or even 2 days before, 3 days before. Number one, the computer is going to say, oh, this person pays on time. That's number one. Secondly, if you are supposed to pay $25, pay 26 or 27. Just add even $1, add it $5. When you add a little small amount, the computer said you are paying above the minimum requirement. If I borrow the money from you and maybe $100, and I plan to pay you each week, I'm planning to pay you maybe $20 or $25, and I go to pay $30, that means I'm showing you I'm very energetic, I'm very, very trustworthy person by paying even more what we agreed. So the same way that is the credit card is going to do. They are going to say, oh, this person paid on time before and paid even more amount than what we are supposed to pay. And someone, I read this one, I haven't used it, said if you are supposed to pay $20, so your debt is on 30th, so pay on one day maybe $10, and before that day pay another $10. That means the computer is going to confuse that you paid it 2 times, like you are more trustworthy. So anything you do is overall, don't use more of your credit card, and pay on time, and pay more above the, even if it's $1 above the minimum requirement. But another thing is, don't have more of these, because the time you are going to put your social security number to request for credit card, they are going to look for your status. That means is what the bank is going to determine is you are going to borrow to so many people. It's just like if I come to you, I go to my neighbor, I go to another neighbor, I go to borrow $50. They know this guy is not a trustworthy person. So the more you go to ask, even if they say yes or no, when you put your social security number, they're going to check your credit. Your credit score is going down. That you are broke a person, you are looking for all this way out. So the only way you need to do is just have one credit, or if you have two, learn how to play around the game. It's a game. It's not about how much money you have. If you have the loan of $1 million, and your payment is supposed each month you're supposed to pay maybe 1,000. If you don't pay, the same punishment is the same way like someone with $20 and you didn't pay. They don't care how much money you have. It's a computer. You paid late. you are broken. You are going to break the trust.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, and you see, since we are not raised to understand this whole credit thing, it's also really new, and it can be a whole topic the whole day. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Those are the things which can, when you, so what are the impact of not having a bad credit? You must say, because when you come here, people don't tell you. Because if you have the credit, you don't pay, they're not going to take you anything from you. You can block from them. They'll call you, you block them. They're going to put your credit bad. That's all. What happens is when you want to get the apartment, they're going to check the credit. That means this person doesn't pay when he is supposed to pay. That means they have to raise what we call the down payment, like some sort of down pay, like a security deposit. Like if what happens if you don't pay, they take the money from you. What if you want to get a house, buy a home? You must have a good credit. What if you want to buy the car? You have to good great credit score. It's not about how much money you have. It's credit score that is going to determine how much the interest rate should that be given. If you have bad credit, the interest rate is high. Good credit is interest rate is low. What if you want to get a job? They have to look on your credit. How are you going to become accountant if you have problem with money? How are you going to be trusted? You are not going to sell the government secret if you don't have your bad credit. That means someone comes and say, okay, you hold the classified document. They want you, okay, we'll give you 10,000. You're going to sell it. So they want people with the good credit. So good credit, it has a bigger impact on so many ways. Jobs, uh, just like even to get a good woman to marry. But a credit, this person is not someone to trust.
That, that's right, because she knows she's going to be with somebody that they're going to hustle for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, so yeah. So credit card is number one thing, it's something you needed to know. Uh because otherwise you'll be able to have a very bad lifestyle. But if you know from day one, I didn't know about credit, even what is credit card, until I got married to Marie. Like that, I'll talk about two years later after being in America. She talked about a credit card. That's I know. So there is something called a credit card, credit score, and what is the importance of it. But there are some people they go even 5 years without knowing, and you are using cash. Using cash here is a bad thing because in the end it doesn't help you anything. So some people, even if you want to use, you can have a store card, for instance, a Walmart card or Target card. You are buying with a card and you go and pay at the same time. You are using that card, you are getting and you are using. It's just the point. But if you are using cash, that means you don't build the credit. You are not, the bank doesn't know you. Okay. So those are the few things about the credit, or something like that. It affects us in Africa, but not like in this way. But yes, people cannot come to your wedding, or cannot come to this one, cannot come to when you are sick, whatever, or they don't lend you some money, you cannot borrow, whatever, because they know for sure you are a trouble person. But here, we don't go by the word. There is a system. That's why once you have a social, everything you do is going to be put into your system. Do you have any question for me, Liz? First of all, I've been talking too much.
Not entirely, but it is interesting to know our experiences living in diaspora away from our families.
Yeah. One of the thing usual. That's why I usually tell people when you are arriving in any country you go, you have to make an early decision whether you want to stay there for a long time or you are planning to go back to your home country. That one will make you easier to adjust to the culture, will make it easier to determine the resources, whether you want to invest here in America or you're in Germany or to invest in your home country. It can help in so many ways. majority of people, they come here and they are just still in the middle. Should I use, even the brain is still processing the everything in shillings instead of processing in US dollar. So the problem it comes is because you haven't made that decision, you can be reluctant to start learning credit score, for example, credit card. You are start becoming reluctant to start buying stocks because why? I'm not going to be here. You are going to be reluctant to think about, even if you don't have a child, just think about the college of your child. Which college will the child go? You need to start saving. Even if you save here and you decide to go back to your country, that means you did well. You can go much better than come here after 3 years, 4 years. That's you're going to determine. Oh, I can stay here for a long time, and then let me start knowing about credit. You have already lost a couple years. For me, I mean, obviously, when they gave me the visa, I knew that was a mistake they did. So when I come here, the first thing, what are the ways of staying here legally without causing any problem? You can pursue them. So from day one for me, okay, how do you get green card? How do you get good scholarship? How do you get this one legally to go those one? So that's why I usually tell people who are winning the DV lottery, you are coming here from day one as a winner. You have everything, like you have a card. So don't start doing because some people come as a student, you have 2 3 years until you come green card, couple years already. So from day one, just start knowing credit card, how to invest, how to get good job, how to get good like certifications, all those kind of things will be able to help you. There is someone from Uganda, John Kenneth, say, says watching from Uganda. I don't know whether it's from Kabale or from where, Masaka.
You can actually bring in a few people, like Mr. Truth. You can bring him online and they can discuss with us and join us.
Okay, just wait. Uh, I haven't. Okay, it's just I have to because
I think I can share the link.
yeah, share the link.
Let me see if I have it.
Yeah.
I don't have it because it's on my
Okay.
phone.
Okay. Let me get from. I send you from WhatsApp on your WhatsApp. Okay. So let me get it then. Okay. Okay. We can be. Oh, I put the wrong link when I was clicking. So okay, the second link is the correct one.
Yes.
The first one is not. I think it might be the correct one too, because the one ending with J at the end.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you go and click that link, you can be able to come to join us, and you can ask your question here. Yeah. John Kenneth from Kampala.
Okay. Do people mind about assets acquisition or it's about credit building? It's mostly about credit building. Nobody cares about what you have.
Because even if you have a vehicle, we know for sure you got it by credit. If you you have a house, yes, I have a nice house, but technically I pay every month. It's just the credit. So it's not like it's someone like you acquire so many things just because of the credit. So credit is just like a get pass to so many things. Uh, if you okay, someone let me add. First of all, we appreciate it for those who are joining from very late night
Mm-hmm.
where you are. Mel, you are on.
Yeah, I am.
That advantage of working from home, living at home, everything. So it's a family. Yeah. You are welcome. Where are you from?
Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, I've never been there. I just the closest part is to be cheering them during the World Cup.
Okay. Relax.
Okay. If you have any question, any topic you want to discuss, we are okay. We don't have any particular. We're just talking about the real life and the challenges. So if you, Mr. Truth, is there too.
Hi, David.
Hey, how you doing, Liz?
Good. How are you? That is my number one fan. He's always commenting and supporting the
Oh,
chat.
let me put him at the top of the screen.
Okay.
Where are you now, David?
I'm in
Mr.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, you are in Georgia, so you are not tonight. Okay, that's good.
Many people right now, it's late in Africa, so they're checking in really late at night.
Yeah. So, by the way, I'm Ernest. Let me introduce myself.
So, Mr. Tell us about the credits. If somebody is coming here, what should they think about?
Okay. I think that here in America, like I said, our system based on credit, and the first thing that people should realize is that having good credit is a way to determine
What a
whether you're going to
remote.
succeed or not. And one way to
Ernest,
establish,
you can
I'm
mute.
sorry.
You can mute the other person.
Okay, let me do that. I think now we are good because there are only few. Yeah. Okay.
You can also
Continue.
put us both on the screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem at all.
Okay, no problem.
Continue, Miss.
Okay. What I was saying that everything that you had spoke about credit, I mean, you're 100% correct because what a lot of people don't understand about America that our system is based on credit. They don't go by, nationality, race, or whatever. They go by your credit score. And what happened to a lot of people before they realize what credit is, they get bad credit by not paying their bills on time and basically having too much credit. Because just like I said, everything that you spoke about once you establish credit, not going over a certain limit and paying extra every month. Like instead of paying your minimum payment, pay a little extra so it could go towards your principal and your interest. So I guess it's a thing that a lot of people don't realize that credit can make you or break you here in America. So that's just my little take about credit building.
Thank you so much. That is very very good input. Yeah.
And someone was asking earlier before that does the system recognize asset building, or is it just about credit?
Okay, well that question direct toward me, Liz.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, both is good. I mean, see, a lot of people don't understand what an asset is and a liability. A lot of people have a liability thinking it's an asset. So it's good to have both, asset building as and credit building because I mean they both go hand in hand. So it really depends on the person's situation. Because especially like if you're a foreigner coming to America and your spouse have credit, if they got good credit, what they could do to help you establish your credit, if they could put you on their account as
Yeah. Authorized
a
user.
user. Yes. And once they do that, it'll start building your credit up. But like you said, at the same time, you had to watch because what happened to a lot of people, they'll get all this credit and then they'll start, buying too much stuff and they won't be able to pay their minimum bill. So what happened over a period of time, they'll get bad credit. And like you said, here in America, it's not about race or anything else. It's about that credit score. So I see a
Yeah.
lot of people that leave America and go to these other countries, but then what they don't say is that, when they was here in America, they messed their credit up. So yeah, they ain't got nothing good to say about America because they done mess their chances up. So what they do, they'll get a whole bunch of stuff in their credit, get bad credit, so they can't get anything. So what they do, they talk bad about America, go to the other country, but not realizing when you go to the other country, ain't no credit. Everything basically got to pay
Cashless.
cash for it.
That's right. That's interesting. So, do you believe somebody could come here with like assets and a bit of cash and doesn't build credit and still live happily?
Well, it can happen, but my thing about it is, if you had the opportunity to come here to America and be better off than you was in your country, why not take the opportunity to do it? Because, like I said, a lot of people come here to America, looking at the American dream, but in the end, they'll be living the American nightmare. I mean, like I said, it's a
Very
lot of
true.
opportunity here in America,
That's
and we just
right.
people don't take
That's
advantage.
right.
Because I mean, foreigners like a lot of Asian, Indian, they come here, and when they come here, they learn about credit. That's how they able to open up these stores, these businesses, and get loans. Because one thing about it, when you go apply for a loan, all thing they're gonna look at your credit score and your asset, what you got. And one thing about it, they'll rather give somebody an opportunity to get credit who don't have any credit than somebody who got bad credit. So yeah, I tell
Mhm.
anybody when you come into America, try to establish your credit first, and start applying for like small loans and stuff, and just build your credit card. You know, After a while, you'll see that you'll go from having probably like a few $100 credit line to $50,000, $100,000, but take advantage of it.
Mhm.
Even to get just a good apartment or good job is someone has to trust you basing on the money. So using cash economy we use there, we come here. You want to play like how you want to succeed in America, you have to live like how the system is. The system here is credit based system. Yes, you can use your asset, but how you can compete like everybody else.
And it's interesting. Ernest just said even to get a good partner, they also they look at your credit and they're like, no, 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 I'm not going to hustle with this person the rest of my
Because
life. I'm
if you already
happy.
have a lot of bad credit, like you get married, that means it's part of the problem. Like, say, man, you have already $40,000, you have vehicle, you don't pay back. Like, how are we going to have a good family? Like,
I
And,
actually
and you know,
I actually saw that. I watched that on Steve Harvey's show. You know how he does the matchmaking, how do they say,
yeah,
match mixing, whatever.
yeah.
So there's this lady, she's I think like a business lady, and they matched her with a guy, and she asked him, how is your credit score on the show? And the guy was like, it's not good. And she's like, mm-mm, I don't want to know anything about you. That's the number one no for me. And I was like, what? Wow,
Yeah.
that's serious.
well, look, you want me to tell you one main thing that happened to America about with a lot of people credit. I hate to say it that, but here in America, what happened is a lot of time the parents will have kids. Here in America, the credit system go by your social security number. So what happened is a lot of these parents will use their children's social security number, who probably like 5, 6, 7 years old, to get certain stuff on credit, and then they won't pay the credit, and that child could be 5 or 7 years old, and by the time they're 18, 19 years
Oh,
old, they already got bad credit.
oh,
And that
What?
happens to a lot of situations. I'm serious. I mean, the thing about it, a lot of these
Wow.
companies, all thing they look at is the social security number. And what happened is the parent use these kids' social security number, and by the time the kid get grown, 18 years old, they got bad
already.
credit because of things their parents did.
Is that because the parents were struggling, or do you think it's just being careless?
Just don't
It could be
care.
both. Because my thing about it is, if I'm struggling or whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna pass that curse on to my child because of
Yeah.
Yeah.
bad situation, bad choices I made. But that's just a system. And the thing about it, here in America, I know a lot of people try to get caught up on racism and everything else. No, it's ill no matter where you go to. But the thing about it is, it's about being a parent and you being responsible for your
Yeah.
action and help your children, but not sit here and cause them to have bad credit, bad situation because of choices that we make as adults and being parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
From
right.
here, I've seen some of the examples of few people, but it's in a positive way. the parent, maybe the child is maybe 14, whatever, 50, going somewhere 50. They put them the authorized user, but they don't give them the card for the purpose of building them the credit. So the child is 18, is 800, like kind of like, so like they finish college, man, they go there, they can get anything they want. Yeah, but yeah, it's sad like to use on the negative. I mean, because you are putting your child not from 0 or 2 positive going up, you are putting them negative 100. Like from day one of starting their adult life, they're already negative something. Like,
yeah. Someone is asking you, EBM, that what state are you, and also saying the assets come into play when you're trying to get a loan.
I'm in Missouri. I used to be in West Virginia, California, Kansas, Missouri. Yeah. And again, if your assets, sometimes they might not help you if you are getting, for instance, if you are getting the home loan, how does that relate to you in most cases? It will be like asset in terms like income wise, how much is it playing to give you that way, but not just, oh, because I have this piece of gold is asset. How does that convert it to be sell it and put as down payment? Yes, it will help you, but there are certain kind of assets in the business side will help you a lot, and that is another part. Immigrant, we are not taking advantage here in America of not starting businesses. Business, you can get a lot of tax deductions, but also is the way on how you can be able to build yourself. So we come with a mindset like, let me work. It's good, but sometimes if we also have a side business, is a good way. People from West Africa, they do a lot of business, which is helping them a lot compared to Tanzanians and Kenyans. Kenyans, they're doing a little bit better than Tanzanians.
And so I know that is, people coming from a different culture and everything is different. It's hard to totally adjust within like 1 year, 2 years, and you're already.
There is this comment. I'm reading, I'm laughing.
You speak too much English. You should.
It reminded me when I came to America.
You know what I've noticed, Mr. Truth? Even people here, they speak different. They have different accents, even if you're all in the States. Because I speak to different people with my job, and some people have a different accent. And sometimes I'm like, at first I thought maybe there's like one central accent, and it's different. People speak differently.
Oh yeah, it depends on where you're from.
I actually am used to speaking to people like.
But it was, I mean, when they came, like, okay, in a good way, when the African American, it was cool to watch them in the movies, in the whatever, because they came in the time we didn't have this kind of the gadgets like now, because I came 2008. But back in the time, there was no social media. So the first time, like, after arriving to my university, I was teaching. They were just like those football players, whatever. They're in my class, I'm supposed to teach them. Like when they talk, I don't understand them. Like, but it is interesting to hear like how they flow. Like it's so cool. Like it took me longer, like to get them. Like, but they knew that I didn't understand most of them, so they slowed down until I was catching up. Like,
I actually feel like they are good rappers. If you're singing, I like the way the words flow. For us, I speak 6 languages, so I struggle with knowing what words to say. That's why even when I'm making videos, I make like 4 times because I mess up. I'm like, no, I wasn't supposed to say that. Then I start again. So, so listening to you guys, the way you sound is like very smooth and really fast. It's like music.
have you been to any country in Africa?
Oh yes, I've been to about 10 different countries in West Africa, and I've been to Tanzania. I was in the military in the Navy, and Also
Oh,
did like military contracting work. So we did a lot of work in what Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Gambia. So did a lot of work on West Africa.
okay. I was in the Navy too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah, yeah. Were you in CBs or what? Because those are the one traveling a lot in Africa for construction.
Well, actually, I was on CB, but I was a Bosa mate, and I was in a
Okay.
what's called an airfield unit, and we always had to go to West Africa to do training. We want to carry like the Marine and stuff. So yeah, we did training, but we did have CBs on the ship, but I wasn't a CB. I was a Bosa mate, actually one that drive the ships. So that's what I did.
So you enjoy the African food then and the
Yeah, I
culture.
did. I did.
Okay. What was the okay? Uh, what was your? There is a difference when a white person and a black person, Americans, go to Africa. Because when you go there, you're just like me, so people don't directly assume you are American until you talk. But if you don't talk, people they chill like it's so it depends. Like there are some people they take it a good, positive way, that way to blend in. There are some people they take it negative way compared to the other. When white American, they everyone they give like a certain kind of treatment, but for you don't get treatment, but you are all Americans. But some people they take this is positive, like I can feel cool with everybody here and not like worrying anything. How was your experience visiting most of the African countries?
Well, my experience was nice. I think a lot of time we get caught up, especially like with the media, because they might portray certain things in a certain way. But I can actually say that everybody was hospitable, and I think it really depends on you as a person too, because it depends on how you treat people. And like I said, I'm from the South, so I treat everybody the same and stuff. So I don't really see no difference. But I hear people saying that, oh, when African Americans go to Africa and some white guys go, they all going to treat the whites, other nationalities better. But I didn't see any difference, to be honest, which I get because the way I think and the way I process things. So I didn't see any different. And everybody
But
was nice.
people from the south they are more African because you get raised in a standard which you call is African, like with respect. Is a different like someone from born and raised in New York. But south they are just like it's very easier to go along with Africans because there is that respect to the mother, to the parents, to the elders. So which is very very good.
Yes, sir. That's amazing that you said that because that's true. I tell a lot of people that uh, a lot of people down south, we were able to have a lot of respect, especially towards each other and especially towards the elders. So you're right. I can see the same thing as far like I guess that's why I really have no issue when I travel because, like I said, I treat everybody the same, and I try not to get caught up in the things that you see on social media and especially stuff that the media put out there. So I try not to get caught up in the little stuff.
If you have to travel apart from the COVID, if you have to travel today, what will be your dream country to visit, like whether Africa or Asia or any country?
Well, to be probably just different country on the continent of Africa because I was living in Jamaica. I was married, and I just moved back to the states probably about a couple months ago. Because with my job, I fly all over the world, and as long as I get to the airport, it doesn't matter where I live at. And that was a big change by me living in Jamaica. But I think somewhere on the continent of Africa. I mean, I traveled to what 6 of the different 7 continents, and I can actually say I think I enjoy myself more on the continent of Africa than I did anywhere else.
Okay. But overall, if you travel, for your case, you have traveled a lot. Uh, at certain times, you will prefer to live overseas a lot than here, or how does that be? With the, traveling, like you have been to many countries, sometimes you want to be in America just for a short time for vacation and
Uh,
just spend more time overseas. Or
no, well, to be honest with you, I mean, like I said, I was born and raised in America. My family been home, a generation and stuff, and I like traveling to other countries, but I think America is just more opportunity here from what I've seen for living in other countries because, but like I said, people just don't take advantage of the opportunity that we have here in America because, like I said, I lived on the continent of Africa. Jamaica, Europe, everywhere else. But it's just more opportunity here in America than anywhere else. But I would like to go to other countries and start businesses and network. But as far as like having a foundation, probably here in America. Like I said, I won't mind going to other countries, but as far as like living and being established right now here in America, as for me, it's just one of the better places to live because of the opportunity and the infrastructure.
Okay. If a brand new person arrives from the boat, arriving from Africa, comes here, what advice are you going to give to that person in order to succeed?
Well, I would tell them to, like you said, have a plan, uh, stick with their plan, and try to be around people that have the same goals and somebody who you can actually learn something from. Because one thing about America, it's a big melting pot. You got all kind of nationalities, different races, everything else, and you really have to get around people who have the same ideology that you got. I mean, if you come here to look to get into crime, hey, you're gonna find crime. If you come here looking to start business, you're gonna find that. But actually, I'll tell anybody when they first come here, make sure you know what you want to do and go ahead and research it and get around people and learn from the people that doing the thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah, that is a very good advice because usually sometimes we get lost. Sometimes when you come here, you just see the Walmart, you see like this is man. I just you ending up taking pictures and posting them on social media. That's your job. You forget your
But I
goals.
can't.
Ac-
I can. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Liz.
Actually, you know what? I personally, my experience, I think, was different also depending on which state you go to or whatever.
Yeah.
But my my what's the word? But my the English word is lost. But I mean like what I envisioned the US to be actually wasn't like what it was once I landed. I don't know if that makes sense. But
Well, you know what, Liz? Go ahead.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, what I was gonna say the exact same thing what you're talking about. I think what happened to a lot of foreigners when they come here, they see so much stuff on TV, they imagine like everything in America being like New York City, LA, Miami, like the largest city, but they don't realize that America a big place. And
That
depending on where you live at, the cost of living could be extremely high or it could be extremely low. So
yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
So that's exactly what happened to me because I had partly traveled to different African countries here and there that, seen most of the big malls, most of everything that would excite a teenager or a youth. I'd seen that. So when I came here, I was like, wait, what? Like, really? Like, that's not what I expected. But I mean, it gives you that is when you notice that what the media puts out there is usually not right, especially what they put out about Africa, about Europe, about all these skyscrapers, whatever. So you envision being in the US or wherever you are abroad as a big deal. Oh, I'm going to go, I'm going to paint my color blue, I'm going to have long nails and look all nice. You kind of start to dream, and like you said, you begin to build an American dream. And once the reality hits, my friend, it's different. You start to wake up, you stay in your pajamas, you don't go anywhere, you cannot even afford a car. You can, like, it's different, it's normal. It becomes really normal when reality hits in. You realize you're much better off just if you're able to stay in Africa and you have some bit of money. It's better to actually live there and not worry about this readjustment and getting into this credit and getting into the system like EBM was saying.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, for me when I was coming here, I'm having one advantage. The TV was not that big, like especially like internet wise. Yes, you can have just Google search. Still, YouTube was coming up. No, Facebook was just brand new, so everything was like still that's number one. But still, we know like invasion in America how it is. So the first I landed in LA. Then I went to San Francisco. I stayed in Stanford for 1 week. So you see, like it's California. Then from California, I went to the state where I'm supposed to stay in West Virginia. First of all, it's one of the poorest state. But for me, I mean, I think it's just at that time, it was like 94, 95% was white, the state.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like for me, like, so that's what usually people say. Do people discriminate you? I say, who can discriminate me? You cannot discriminate me because why? What are
Yes.
you going to tell me? Because anything you're telling me, I've been told in Africa. So, but the advantage was this way. That's why I ask you a question. How do you see when you have all people of the same, like all black people in Africa, you are all white people? But advantage was like how you use the opportunity wherever you are. Uh, being like I was going to you go to a concert, you go to a certain event, 300 people and you're only one black person. So the choice is yours. Do you want to shine like I'm the only one, or you are a superstar to shine? So
Yeah.
choice is yours.
Yeah.
So how you process is up to you. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
like some people they go there, they get confused, like, oh, I'm black. They don't want to give you. But if you go like, oh, I can just respect these people, I can hang out with them, I can learn their language, I can eat their food. So it's just how you define yourself, and it can be a big point on breaking point on how you can be able to enjoy and succeed your experiences. Yeah.
Well,
So, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Liz.
No, I was just going to ask you that when you traveled to Nigeria, Tanzania, and all these countries, did you see any opportunities that somebody, for example, from the West could take up and, you know?
Yes, and I've seen a lot. And you know what it is? Just like when foreigners come into America, they see the opportunity that Americans don't see, and when Americans go, well, people from the West when they go to Africa, they see opportunity that the Africans don't see. And I guess a lot of people don't know they got a thing here in America called the Angola Act. That's the African Growth and Opportunity Act, where you can actually do trade, with the United States to I think it's like 40 some different countries
Yeah.
in Africa where you don't have to pay tax on import and export. So yeah, I mean the thing about being in America is about researching it and knowing where the opportunity is at. So yeah, I've seen a lot of opportunity on the continent.
That's good. You know, I've been thinking of doing any online business, and I'm thinking, what can I do? And in my mind, I have this vision, I have these ideas, but I don't know how to execute them. But I've been thinking, what if you start like an online store that sells only African craft stuff, like things that I haven't seen here? And yeah, I've been thinking about it. It's something I'm thinking about.
Yeah, you can be able to do that in the as long as you have a good supply of bringing something, because the problem which we have, that's why Mr. Twist is talking about AGOA. It will be a very, very good help to get more. If you can give bigger shipment and you don't pay tax, which is very helpful. Because in America is different from China to Africa. There are so many companies being able to ship, but if you can find a way of shipping your items, not DHL, like really shipping a lot of things, there are a lot of opportunities to do that. And if you go to, let's say, go to most of these stores, you find like maybe the African basket, they say like $200. This one is even $2 I don't pay in Africa. Like,
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah,
I have to say, growing up, we underlooked most of the skills that would have helped us when we grow up, like tailoring, like learning how to sew a few things here and there. So when I just came, I wanted to how do you say, like resize my clothes, because I just had a baby and I really had put on a lot of weight, and now I had lost so much weight, so my clothes didn't fit me, and I didn't want to go into buying everything new. So I was like, oh, I love these jeans, I'll just go to the tailor and they can fix it for me. You guys.
so go and get the new one.
So I
Yeah,
go, we got to this lady, she measures me, takes my measurements and stuff, everything is cool, and then she gives me the
price.
bill. And the bill is like, so each item I had was, let's say, $15 or $20. and that is the same price she was asking for, or even more. So I said, this doesn't make
Can
sense.
buy, yeah.
So I just packed everything and told her, you know what, that's far beyond my budget. So I'll let you know when I'm ready. And of course, I didn't go back. I just gave out these clothes at Goodwill. And I was like, this doesn't make sense at all. I should have learned all these things by myself and just had to buy a machine and do it myself. Because I love my clothes. It's so hard to just part with everything and get everything new.
Yeah,
So
even like something like making females hair. Nowadays, not many women in Africa they do that because they go to the salon, whatever. But that here you can be like make like the one you are doing like the like 200, whatever. So it's just like there are
yes.
certain things like say, man, for me
Yeah.
like
And talking about that, these simple braids, I had to pay like
yeah,
$100 plus. And you know how much money? So if you convert it to the Ugandan shillings, that's
is it
way too
three
much.
is if almost
In
400,000.
Yes, in Uganda, if I'm to plate this, I would pay about let me say 50,000, which is around $15. So the range is like too much. So I'm like, if I knew these skills, I would open up a shop and do tailoring and do Cobra and do all these things, whatever people do to earn some money. And I'm like, there's so much opportunity, but I don't even have the skills, because if I also knew how to braid this type of hair, I would just do it door to door, like reach out, make a group and start like that. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of opportunity. Like you said, when you move to a country, you see so many opportunities that people in that place don't see. So when you travel, you keep looking at, I could do this, I could do that.
yeah. I mean, when you are coming from another perspective, it is easier to look like okay, you are outside, but if you are inside, you don't see because, like Newton is saying, you cannot push your car while you are inside the car. That's why even when you travel, for instance, let's say you travel to Africa, then you come back, you come with energy because you get more motivation. You're coming back, you saw America from outside. Even if you're American, when you come back, you get with energy. But if you were staying here, that's where there is a difference between American who has never traveled out of their state, American who have never traveled out of America at all to go to any country. Their worldview is different than
That's
the people who
right.
have been able to travel. There's someone who wants to be able to travel can be able to articulate so many things, can go along with anybody in this world.
Well,
And
I could tell you,
no, go ahead.
I could, I could, I could tell you one thing I have seen. Not only with African foreigners, but foreigners from other countries. That a lot of time when foreigners come into America, y'all feel that y'all be obligated to help your family back from where you came from. And a lot of times family members don't realize that, yeah, America is a good place, but you still got bills, things are higher, and people be working 2 or 3 jobs just to try to survive. And when you got family member calling you always every week or every couple of days asking for money, I mean that put a strain on what you trying to establish here in America.
Yes, and that one, and that is also causing people not to establish themselves here for the first 5 years because apart from helping, but they feel that okay, I need to buy. They can pressure you. You need to buy a house here or you build a small house when you come. When are you coming? Like in 10 years, when are you getting a flight to have a vacation each year? You don't have. So in 5 years, you go once and you go to stay for 2 weeks, you come back to your job. Why do I need to build a house? Just if I build the house for the family, for my parents, yes, that is different from building for me to go. So sometimes people are mixing the resources. Should I stay here? Should I be there? I have to help there. I have to help. Yeah, it's very
And
challenging.
you know what's bad? I've just seen people that were sending money back to their country, uh, you know, to getting a house built, and at the end
Oh,
of the day, after about 2 or 3 years, when they go back, the family member, yeah, they built the house, but they be like, no, this is my house. I mean, I'm like, wow. I say, actually, I mean, that happened. I'm like, so you sent all your money back home to get a house built. Then when you went back, family member gonna tell you, no, that's my house.
or they
So
tell
I
you
don't
to build
Oh,
the
understand.
house. You build a nice house. You give the blueprint and everything. What they're building, like the swimming pool, is just like something like it's not like a pool. Like it's just like you put the
different.
wall. Like you go there, what you are going to find is like no way. This is not what I was planning to have. Like
EBM, someone has a question for you. Someone is asking, this is Ray Kembabazi. She's saying, I saw your channel and you've been in USA for so long. Do you miss anything about home, and do you have any regrets so far for creating a life in a new country?
Oh, that's a very good question. Number one, let me start with that one. Okay, number one, on my end, uh, coming to America is a different for other each person. What was the reason for coming here? For me, it started as a dream as a child. So it didn't come like maybe the life is becoming difficult in Africa, whatever. So at the age when I was in fifth grade, that's when I said I will go to America, I will marry there. I didn't know when you get married there is something called the green card. I didn't know that, but I knew like I will go there, I will marry there, I will stay there, I will have a family there, I will die in America. That was all since I was in fifth grade. So from that moment, I've been, and I knew the only way I have to come here was through education. So because there was no internet at that time, 1994, 1995, there is no internet in Tanzania. I mean, in my hometown, Kigoma. So it was just like you study hard, everything will be towards what you are planning to do. So when I was coming here, I already have so many people telling you it is impossible. You have maybe you'll miss home, you'll miss this, you'll miss this. So all those kind of things. So I already prepared my mindset when I was coming here, and I didn't want to come here to have a life which is lesser than the life I'm having in Tanzania. So number one, I don't miss my country. To be honest, I miss my family. I miss some friends. Yes, but I don't miss like okay, I wish I could be there. No, yes, I could be there now. I could be eating nice mangoes. I can have this one. If I compare, yes, there are advantages of each countries. But my goals, when I look at what were my objectives, to have a good family, to have a good job, to have a good whatever, everything were aligned in American lifestyle. So, for instance, let me give you an example. Someone with a bachelor degree in Tanzania, you get paid by $400, 500 when you start. If you get a lot, 700 per month. I came here the first day I arrived here. I get paid was 1,500 per month. Okay, that is good to start with. So, and now what I'm going to be, yes, there are so many stress here compared to outside. I agree. The only thing I can compare, the bigger one, if I'm outside, the stress is lesser than the stress I'm having here. But regret wise, no. Even like the decision to choose to become an American citizen in Tanzania, we don't have dual citizenship. So once you become a US citizen or a citizen of another country, is bye bye Tanzanianship or whatever citizenship. So even when I make that decision, it was the easiest decision because I prepared my mindset to come here. And the biggest thing which I have for me is I'm looking what is my contribution on this world. Not God is not going to judge me as Tanzanian. God is going to judge me as a citizen of this world. So if I'm in Tanzania, I'm giving an example, and I don't help Tanzanian, what does that mean? But if I'm in US, I have bigger platform to help so many people. Here I have internet unlimited. I can have GB, 100 GB. I can be able to respond to your emails. I can make videos. But right now, if I'm in Tanzania, sometimes you might not have this access of having money to use my internet to provide all these resources. So for me being here, I feel that I have more positive contribution to many people than if I would be in Tanzania, for instance. So for the purpose wise, I'm enjoying more being here. But in the future, my plan is to live in Africa at least for 5 years to give opportunity to my kids to experience that kind of life I experienced, even if it would not be the same, but to have the culture of another country, any country in Africa, to have that kind of lifestyle, and then they can come here to appreciate more. But overall, I don't have any regret in the everything I planned for. Most like yes, it's still difficult to achieve them, but I've been able to achieve them, and that's why I want many people when they come here. Not to, and yes, you will start washing dishes, you will start to clean the toilets, but it's not supposed to be forever. That is a transition to go to the greatness.
Okay, and I have a question.
Yes.
So you became a US citizen and your country doesn't want you. Sorry, that's how I'm putting it.
Yes.
So do your children have a chance of having the dual citizenship, or they stop at being just US citizens?
The first child, because when he was born, my first child, I was still green card holder. I was Tanzanian. So the first child, Benedict, who is 10, if I decide, I can go and get the passport for him because he has the right, because the father was Tanzanian. But the rest they don't, because they were born, I was already American citizen.
Oh, so it's only one that has the dual citizenship.
If I have to claim, like I have to show so many evidence,
Okay.
because when he was born, I was Tanzanian. But I don't know now. They say your father is not. But I don't know whether they will say the time we were born you were Tanzanian. So I don't know.
Welcome, XP.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We
We're
are
doing
doing very
good.
good. Thank you.
Hey, how does my mic sound? This is a very
Very
cheap.
good. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
It sounds
surprised.
nice. Yeah.
Okay. This is my language learning headset, so I barely use it.
Yeah, I also was using my headsets that I use for work, but I had to use my phone, and I don't have headsets for my iPhone. It's easy to use the headphones, so then you don't have that rattling noise and stuff.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and use these for future live streams. But I did have a question for you, Liz. I could have asked this in the chat, but I just decided to jump on. What 6 languages do you speak?
So they are not very useful at the moment, which is sad because they are just the local languages in Uganda. So that means I can only use them when I go back home in Uganda. So
Right.
so I can mention them. One is called Luganda. So Luganda in Uganda is like the major language besides English. So
Yeah.
it's spoken in the central, but also all across the country because they are dominant. It's the dominant tribe, I'll say. And then I
Yeah.
speak my mother tongue, which will be Ruchiga. Ruchiga is from like the western part of the country. And
Hmm.
then I also speak Runyankole, which is also like a sister to my mother tongue. I don't know if that makes sense. And then I speak also
No, no.
Rutoro. I speak a bit of Swahili, but I wouldn't include that on the CV because I actually hear it better than I can speak. I don't know if that makes sense.
That I think that's the first step, um,
To
because
learn,
like
yeah.
for me, I guess like even with Spanish, but more so Italian, I can understand more than I can speak with Italian.
Yeah, I love Italian. It's kind of similar to English because when I'm working and people call in and I say a moment, then the interpreter says momento. I'm like, I just said
Oh
that.
yeah, un momento, yeah, un momento, yeah,
Liz,
Momento.
I want to let you know that even in Luganda, Anko, whatever those languages, they are very useful here in the United States, and you can be paid even 100,000 if you become a U.S. citizen and you get a clearance. There are so many government contracted jobs. Uh,
I tried to actually apply for one of those jobs and they didn't like me, I believe. It's called Language Line Solutions.
I know that one.
I applied like 4 times because they were looking for somebody that speaks, I think, 3 of the languages, and I did, but they didn't give me.
I mean, apart from this simple translation, most of the languages, if you become a citizen with a clearance, because you work with the military contractors or the companies with the classified documents.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah,
keep trying, and eventually,
yeah.
if I'm a US citizen, I can apply for those.
Kemba Bazi.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi, welcome
hey,
aboard.
Yeah, this is Sinclair from Texas.
Wow.
From the great state of Texas.
Yeah,
what's the weather like over there? Is it still?
no,
Are y'all still in those winter storms? Like,
yeah, the weather was like 2 weeks ago, but
yeah,
everything's okay now, so everything's fine.
okay.
Yeah, we have light, water, everything.
You're back to the civilization.
Yeah. So yeah, talking about this, I'm Cameroonian, and I'm still a green card holder. And I have a question like, actually, America accept multinationality, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and someone like Cameroonians, I think the guy already asked the question about like if you have if your son is born when you are still green card holder. So even if the son automatically is American when he's in the USA, but you can still request your Cameroonian nationality to the kid, right?
Does Cameroon has a dual citizenship or no?
No.
Even if it doesn't have, if a child is born in the US, first of all, he's an American citizen, regardless whether you are illegal, whether you are legal, your international student is a citizen.
Mhm.
But even Tanzania doesn't have dual citizenship. If the father is still one of the parent, is still a citizen of the other country, the child by default is a citizen of that country
Okay.
until the child decides at the age of 18 to abandon that country.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I got you.
So if you have a child, the child will be a US and Cameroonian, both. Will
But
have
the
two
time
passports.
the time I will become a direct American citizens, my child gonna also lose the
No,
nationality or
doesn't.
he gonna no?
Doesn't, yeah.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Yeah. So the
Yeah,
better way, that's like in my situation, the better way, if you ask the passport before, it will be better. I don't know. My case, I became a citizen, but I
mhm,
haven't asked the passport for Tanzania for my son. So
okay.
I don't know whether because if I go, I can show the evidence was born while I was a Tanzanian. So at that time, he's qualified to be a Tanzanian citizen. So, but if you have a Tanzanian citizen, like Cameroonian citizenship as you, and the child has if you become a citizen, doesn't take away from the child. The child will make the decision when he's the adult.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Because mine, of course, if you become American, of course, I'm gonna lose automatically Cameroonian national
Yes. But
citizens. So,
yeah, but for a child, he's not losing
no, no.
until
Okay, that's good. So I was like, I was having some ambiguity in that place. So that's fine. That's good.
yeah.
Thank you.
But if you have the chance to become a US citizen, please be. Unless otherwise you have if you have investment in your country, sometimes you lose that if you have land, you have some other things you plan to open a company there. Sometimes you might lose. But if you wanted to establish like also like for more opportunities here, sometimes you might look this way, but it depends how
Yeah,
you look at it.
I'm qualified, but I'm still thinking because, of course, I have business in Cameroon,
Yeah.
and because of fact that we don't accept double nationality in Cameroon, so I'm a bit afraid of
Hesitant,
that.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Tanzania, if you do that, if you have plot of land, you are not about to own, you are not about to own a house, you I mean business, you are typical American. Yeah. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to look all those factors before.
Okay, okay, interesting.
So XP, which countries have you traveled to?
Recently, um, oh man, last year is such a blur. uh, wow, yeah. So I've been to in recent years. I've been to Cyprus. I've been
Sorry to
to
interrupt you. Do you have your YouTube open? Like on another device?
He's out. Yeah.
I think we lost him.
Yeah.
There's an echo, and usually sometimes it's
When
when you
you
have
play, yeah,
YouTube open.
yeah, you want to hear
Hey,
yourself in the radio.
I have a question for both of y'all.
Yes.
Tell me, how do y'all feel about African American leaving America, going back to the continent to compete in a local African market instead of like establishing a business, but they going back looking for a job or even try to, start a little small business. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think that making any sense or what?
Uh, for me, one, I believe people go there. They usually have most of them. They are becoming so happy if you go with the mindset of learning from people, hanging out with the people. You might, I mean, but some people they get so much upset because the things are not running as in America. I have no problem people to go there and just compete with everybody because we are, as long as you are legal there, you are going to do that. The only problem I'm having usual is I'm upset with our own leaders. Usual when a foreigner comes, uh, even if have the, let's say I'm going to the bank, asking for a loan, they might give me so many rejection. But you come like you speak the real English, like you are flowing like that way, you are getting it. At the university, when an exchange student come, and we usually tell them, pretend you do not know even a single word of Swahili. If they speak like that, they get 10 out of 10. Like if for me, I'm working so hard, I don't get 10 out of 10. So the upset is just on our own self. Like sometimes we don't want to put the standard for everyone, regardless. For here, I don't get a job just because I'm from Africa. I compete with Americans. So if they go there, they compete, yes. But yes, some they compete, but sometimes our own we just is a superior as America. You are. It is easier for someone to remove everything like the requirements is American. And even myself, I'm African. When I show my American passport, I don't talk much. My American passport gives me that advantage. Sometimes it's sad. Myself, like I remember one time I was traveling. I was still in Tanzania as a green card holder. I was going with my wife to Tanzania. And then we arrived in Zurich. Well, like 10 hours layover. I want to go outside. They say no, only my wife can go because she's American citizen. Okay. The other time now I'm American citizen. I'm traveling Amsterdam. The police, they were just having the gun. I know something happened. So everybody, they look at you, they stop you. So they stop at me. Where are you going? Tanzania. Ticket, I show the ticket. Passport, they didn't even open to see the ego. We are so sorry, sir. It's, really? Like, so this is like the importance of being American. So those are the things, like it's good, but it's bad at the same time. Another time I was in Tanzania, the European, like white, whatever, all other nation, they are there, their passport, they are red, and they was there, and my passport is just different. So the person saw me, oh, just go on this line. I was in the first, like I felt so bad myself, like, why am I jumping all these people just because of the passport? So I didn't want to speak even a single word of English because they know the accent, like these guys. So I pretend I don't want to talk, like, okay. So those are the things which I don't like. Like, but if we are all, I mean, you go there, you compete like how we compete here. I'm good.
I think I feel the same way EBM feels about it. The only challenge would be when you go to these African countries. I'll speak for Uganda because it's where I grew up. Don't go with the American system in your head. So don't get so frustrated by expecting too much, I'll say, because our system is a bit slow compared to how everything is here. People will respond differently. So don't be so hard on the locals, like deal with them and get to know them. That is how you will create a friendship so that you're not cheated. You're not treated as though you're a tourist and they'll hike the prices. So when you try to go low and be on their level, they are going to you're going to learn more from them, I'll say, and they're going to treat you better. But if you come and you're all high and you're driving your big car and showing them that you don't like that, you don't like this, they're going to do the same to you. You're going to ask, how much is this? I'll tell you $100 and it's like $10. That is how it is. I think just learn the community where you are, be on their level, try to understand them, and they'll kind of initiate you into the community, and you will learn much. There's so many opportunities for you guys that from the West to go back home and get. For I would have no problem. We're all people. We're one race. We're all Africans. We're all whatever. I don't really, and coming from Africa, I don't even know about discriminating somebody because of where they are from. It's reverse in Uganda or in Africa. It's like the reverse. If you're coming from the Western countries, you're actually welcomed more and given more opportunities, like EBM just mentioned. You just go to a restaurant and you start speaking, and because of your accent, people are going to react easily to you and serve you better than the other person that has been waiting, which is kind of negative. But since you're planning to go there and do business, you have more opportunities. People are going to welcome you and you'll have a good time, but just be on their level. Don't show them that you have too much. That would be my take if you're planning to go that way. Welcome to the show.
Okay, how you doing, guys?
We're
We are
doing
doing very
good.
good.
All right, my name is Abu. I'm from Washington D.C. by born and raised in Tanzania.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
we have
but
a
you know,
flag here.
I know, but the first time I come here, yeah, I got us right here. Then. So how you doing, guys?
We are
We
doing
good.
very good.
I'm trying.
Thank
I'm trying to listen. So pretty much when you get, I was listening about 10 minutes. But what you did, guys, is very good, and I'm so proud of you. You working on it, man. You try to teach a lot of people about what is going on, like, and we are here because a lot of people from Uganda they listen. They things like we live the life here is a little bit easy and um, just like that. Dude. But I'm just produce myself. I'm here for like 20 years, and yeah, that's like that. I'm just trying to listen.
thank you so much. We appreciate for the
Yeah,
support and everything. Yeah, and continue to be connecting yourself to things going on both here and in Africa.
yeah. I heard my sister say speaking Swahili. Okay,
I like Kiswahili. I wish I could learn it.
Is the easiest language.
And they teach Kiswahili in all the three countries, I believe, because even in Uganda we learn it for about 2 years, but we don't pay attention. We are just learning for scores, but we don't actually learn and speak it like we should.
oh,
You
okay.
you know what would be really dope if it may already exist, I'm not sure, but if there were in an African version of Rosetta Stone where it was just like a phone app and you could use it to learn the different major languages throughout the African continent, like Swahili and
Actually, there's
Akan.
an app that does that.
Eric, what's the name of it?
I'm going to get it for you. I'll send it to you. I could check on my phone because somebody sent it to me. I was trying to learn Spanish.
Yeah,
Does it
actually,
have
yeah, actually, they have a school. They have a I have my friend is living in Texas, Houston, Texas. They have a I think it's pocket. They teaching how to people teach if you want to speak Swahili, and probably they do that.
Um, Let me see if I can find it. But I remember somebody telling me to look up the app. The app, you just type in the language you want to learn, and it's like Google. It will tell you, it will interpret for you. I think that's it. I don't know.
Mm,
I'll get it for you someday.
yeah, that would be cool because I use Rosetta for a lot of the languages that I've been learning. And in the past, they had Swahili, and that was the only African language that they had. But since they've changed the way they do business, Swahili isn't on there anymore. As are, I mean, a lot of other languages have been taken down too. And I guess that was demand driven. Maybe not a lot of people were buying the Swahili product.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can find it for you. Maybe somebody on the chat will need it, but um, if I don't find it now, I will look it up and still get it to you. So
I
where
ha-
do you plan to go to Tanzania? I can't read your name because the names are so small.
Miguel?
oh,
Still,
me.
Yes.
oh, oh,
I
oh,
I do. Tanzania is on the list of places that I want to go. It's not in my top five. It's not my top five. not just yet, because I still want to go to I still want to go to Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and Uganda. So first, before I go to Tanzania,
So if you go to Kenya, Uganda, you have to finish one trip, all of them, because you're already there.
just do it. Just do a little circle there.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
actually, and
15
Rwanda as
minutes
well.
flight. Yeah, you just
And
yeah.
Rwanda.
finish. Yeah,
Uh,
Just like you come in New York and you say you don't finish in Washington.
exactly.
uh,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Steve, where are you from right now?
I'm actually from the. I think Mr. Truth is from. Are you from Georgia, or are you just in ATL, Mr. Truth?
This is true.
Actually, I'm from Tuskegee, Alabama, but in ATL, Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm from South Georgia.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
been
I'm not in South. I'm not in South Georgia right now, but I'm from South Georgia.
okay.
Yeah. But to go back, I accidentally closed the window when you, Liz, when you were asking me, did I have YouTube open? So I accidentally closed everything out.
Oh,
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah. But no, 2019, before the pandemic, I was I was in Cyprus, and I actually got to go back to Jamaica for the second time, and I'm in love with Jamaica. So that was one of my favorite places to go.
It's beautiful and crazy. I like the craziness. Those guys, they love how to enjoy life. Oh my goodness.
when
Yeah,
I was in Virginia, there was no African restaurant, so I have to go to Jamaican restaurant to eat goat and everything because everything is just like in Africa. So it's okay.
yeah. My time in Jamaica is definitely the reason why I got more interested in Africa, and
How
it was
did it?
mainly. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just going to say, why is that? What mostly pulled you to it? Like, what do you love most about it?
It was the music.
I knew it.
It was the music
I
because
knew it.
Bob Marley.
I, I mean, well, because I grew up on, even though I'm from the South, I grew up mainly on West Coast hip hop, like in early '90s.
Okay.
And then I started picking up and on the Southern music, but American hip hop, I just retraced the steps. I ended up in Jamaica, and I loved the dance hall and the reggae music. And then I stumbled upon Mr. Easy, Mr. Easy, David O, and then Tiwa Savage, and then it was a wrap after that. I just started finding artist after artist after artist.
You haven't seen Koshen's?
Yeah, yeah,
That guy, he's the one that introduced me to that crazy music. He would come to Uganda and like the whole country, the population would be full. He would dance and go. So everyone knows Jamaica as where the music originates, and all these people, they love their music. I love Jamaica.
yeah. I even listening to Jamaican dancehall even kind of put me on to the Jamaican artists that live in the UK,
Okay.
because there's like some Jamaicans in the UK, so that it put me on to some artists that are coming out of there too.
How is they like their weed too? Did you see that?
Not unfortunately, I can't partake. I'm
Okay.
proud. I'm Mr. Truth in his past. Like I'm almost done. Like I'm military, so I can't do anything with that yet.
You are government property.
I'm government prop for for another 18 months. The
Oh,
clock is
very
ticking.
soon.
So
So where are we stationed now?
I'm in Germany right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Germany right now.
There is one Tanzanian was in Italy and he was a German, but now he's back to US. My friend, yeah, he was in the army.
Yeah, I lived in Italy before I came to Germany. I was there for 4 years. So I have a whole Italian family.
Oh,
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, appreciate the support. Yeah,
I
thank
wish
you
I
for
could.
yours too.
I wish I could do it too. I think I like
I just,
I like listening to people that have done it, and it is funny because when you apply to all these jobs, they ask you, "Have you served?" I'm like, "Well, I wish I did." Like, what?
Those are the advantages we are telling immigrants to use. That's all the time. Like, okay, you're immigrant, you want to stay here? Yeah, join the military.
yeah,
I mean, for me, I bought the house. This is the one I'm staying. I paid the 1,000 US dollar just for the what? For the
Down
inspection.
payment? Okay.
Inspection. I didn't pay anything because it was under VA home loan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So you see, like, I mean, but it's not like I paid like down payment to 20 or 50,000. No. If I want to go to school even now, I get more money. Like, so there are all these advantages. You apply for a job, especially if you apply federal. First of all, if you are 100 people and they say maybe minimum qualification bachelor degree, and there is someone with a PhD, but only you are just a veteran, they will take
Yes,
the veteran. They're not taking anybody else.
that's right.
Wow. That's
So
right. Wow.
Hey,
okay,
you know what's funny? That a lot of
yeah,
people that was in the military, they don't take advantage of all the opportunity stuff you have from being a vet. Because when I be seeing on these YouTubers on there and saying that they were military veterans, but at the same time they struggle, I'm like, well, hell, they must did something wrong. I'm sorry. I mean,
exactly.
it's a lot of benefits.
There are so much benefits. Like,
I have a question. So, if you how do you if you're a veteran, is that the word? And you relocate to another country, do you still receive your benefits?
it depends. First
Yeah,
of all, yeah. If you receiving the benefits, if you are retired, first of all, there is a difference. If
If
you are
you're
retired,
retired, for
yeah,
example.
if if you are retired, yeah, that is your money. It doesn't matter where you live. And for instance, even if you live, for instance, and you get disability, certain percentage of disability, that one doesn't care where you are. It goes to your check. I mean, you are direct deposit. For me, I get 10% disability, so I get until I die. So they don't care where I am. It's just I change my bank account. I'll give them my new bank account.
Okay, but does it have do they have to check you and see if you actually got the disability, or it's just
No, they do. There is a way before they classify you. The only thing they'll do is just if there is something is related to that, they add more money. Yes, but they are not going to check on you. No.
okay? Wow. Yeah, we should join the army, the military.
Not your age.
Yeah, and the funny part, Air Force is now is taking longer, a lot of age. I don't know.
Yep. Yep. They took a lot for age.
Yeah, Air
What's the
Force.
age?
What the age
limit?
you start to go to the uh all right.
What's
Me,
the limit?
Yeah.
For
for
the Air Force,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Air Force.
Air Force they have added is 37.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know. My mind is only focused on the light at the end of the tunnel. So
you know what?
I'm not thinking about joining right now. I'm thinking about finishing.
I think it's 30, it might be 34, 35 years old because I knew you had to do
Yeah,
20 years. So I think that you're going from 17 to 35, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Army and Navy 35.
Okay.
Air Force they have added it to 37.
Okay.
Marines is 29, I think. Still they are still low. Marine is the lowest age. Yeah. So when I
And
was joining, only two branches there. It was Army and Navy. So I looked. My father-in-law was in the Army, so, and he was in what, Vietnam War. So he said, first of all,
Wow.
don't go to Army. But if they ask you, do you like camping? Say no, I don't like camping, because I said I like camping. They put me. So I had to join the Navy, the easy one.
so what is the training? How is it like?
For the Navy or the Air Force?
Each
I
branch
actually
different.
don't know for any.
Well, they can tell you. They can tell you about the Navy.
You were in
I'll
the
tell
Army,
you
right?
about the Air Force.
You were in the Army, Miguel.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm in the Air Force.
Okay. So Army, Marines, they are I mean, the basic is heavy. Yeah. Air Force, Navy is normal.
That's right.
So what do you do? What's normal? What do you
Psychological.
do
It's
for the training?
The point is, Marines first of all in the army is more actual training, physical. Like if it's push up is push up, fighting is fighting,
Mhm.
opening them, everything is just real action. Navy and Air Force is more mental because it's more
Mental.
brain. Like
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
so
Very correct.
someone is going to the boot is taught to break your head complete just by words, and the people are crying and they quit just by words. And when I was going because I was older enough, I said there is nothing you can tell him. If it comes here, it comes here, and I'm just chilling.
and
So
you
Like what exactly happens though? Like what is the training like, and what are those words that you're
so
talking
they
no,
about?
so honestly they've changed it up quite a bit since I joined, and it's probably super soft now. But when I joined, they could pretty much say anything to you.
yeah,
It didn't matter what it was. I remember a time when there was this one guy. He was an element leader, which just he was just like one of the people that they put in charge for your group, right? And he did. I can't remember what he did wrong. It was something to do with just marching. And the drill instructor pulled him out, and he said all kind of crazy stuff. Like he was talking about his wife, and he was talking about his he was like, what kind of woman would let you impregnate them? You blah 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 blah. And he was just going in on this
That's
guy.
Mm.
crazy.
yeah,
Right.
it's
But
mental.
they could they used to be able to say things like that, but they can't I don't even think they can curse now. They can't even I don't even
Oh,
think they can use
now it's
profanity now.
easy. The previous time, man. I mean, they were not beating you, but by words. Like, plus,
So what's the intention?
the intention is to break to break your mind, like, because they cannot beat you, but they have to put in a situation which it's just like you are in the war is a normal situation which is not comfortable. So they put in an uncomfortable situation, and you have to be still calm and continue to take your responsibility. I think that is the
Right.
overall.
Yeah, they want to put you in a stressful situation to see if you still pay attention to detail, if you still have teamwork, if you still do all those things, if you could still, like he said, perform.
I remember
Wow.
the fun part, like swimming. That, when I advise people join the navy, but the first thing I usually tell people, if you have opportunity, learn how to swim before you go there. So
Yes.
I assumed I know how to swim because I had to find the apartment before I go, which has a swimming pool. So the swimming pool, which is like is 5 feet, so even if I stand, my head is out, so I'm okay. So and it was just like at the end of the end. So I said, if I can swim up to the end and I come back, that means I can swim in the real pool in the boot camp, because I've never seen the pool in the boot camp. They say it is an Olympic sized pool. And the only time I see that pool is when Michael Phelps is swimming. So it looks small because the guy is going fast. So the day we went to the boot camp, the first day, the second day, I think they shaved our head, they took us to the pool. There was no way I was going to swim in that pool. First of all, it is the soccer field. They didn't tell you it's a soccer field from the beginning up to the end. It is so big. Secondly, the pool I used to swim is just like 5, 6 feet, wherever I can. That one, it was 20 feet going down. The place where you're supposed to go, and you have to jump from up 20 feet. And then at the end, which is like the small portion, I'm 5'6", that what is it, like 6'7" or something. So still up to the end, I have to. There was no way I was going to swim. So one day I tried this. So I have to teach you. They have to teach you in they call it kids pool. The kids pool is still bigger than the swimming pool I used to learn. That's the kids pool. Then one day I decided to swim up to the end. I reached up to the end to pass. The guy took me back. He said, "You failed. Why?" I said, "You are African submarine," because they know I'm from Africa. Because there is a proper way of swimming, like they do the head this way. So for me, I cannot do that. My goal is to reach at the end. So I was able, because one time I was teaching Swahili language to Navy SEALs, they told me the best technique, learn how to hold your breath. That's all. So I was able to like stay a minute without breathing under the water. So I was going under the water, like up to this point, then I come up once, then I go down up to the end of the pool. They say, no, that is not a proper for swimming. So they gave me a hard time. I passed the day today. Tomorrow is the day of graduation. That is the day I passed. And the reason I had to pass was because my wife called me and said they already purchased the ticket. They are coming to the graduation with my father-in-law, and I'm not going to graduate. So I said, today I'm going to die in the pool. Like, so until I pass, like, I don't care. Yeah.
And you know what? You know what else crazy? I know
Yeah.
that a lot of YouTubers that go to the continent and be making content. That most of all of them they be talking crazy. That prime military, they were they was in the Navy. No, I'm sorry, not Navy. The Army or the Marine. And to be honest with you, a lot of them guys, they got PTSD. Instead of being on the continent, they need to be back in America at the VA trying to get their disability because them guys really got issues. You can just tell how they act and how they talk and stuff, and them guys really got issues. So a lot of time when I be looking at these channels and stuff, I'm like, okay, they're vet, but they got some issues.
That's why usually I tell people, even when I was choosing the Navy, Air Force was out of the question because I was above the age at that time. So now, because for me, I look like if I'm deploying, if any call goes to my wife, doesn't need to worry anything because I'm in the Navy. My deployment. I'm going to Australia. There is no one in Australia. I'm going to Japan. I'm cool. I'm going to Hawaii. So it was that way. But Army is a real heavy duty. Marine is a real heavy duty. And if you have a family, there's a call coming. Are you okay? But if you are traveling with the Navy, it's cool. I mean, there are some challenges, but it's easy. It's easy part compared to the real action of Navy and Marine and the Army and the obviously SEALs, the SWIC, and the other.
EBM, you have some questions in the comment section. Someone is asking your take on Magufuli as a president and how he's handling politics in Tanzania.
That will make me going to be kidnapped. Okay, let's see the question. Okay, so overall, number one, I usually from 2017, 2016, I decided not to talk about African politics because it's a headache. All African politics. I studied political science, so it is a challenge. What you know the principles of politics and what is happening in the real ground. So it's very frustrating. And the biggest problem of all African politics in general is we trust people instead of institutions. There are no strong court. There are no strong constitution or like parliament. So if you become a president, you can change anything you want at whatever no one. So that's what is happening in Tanzania. That's what is happening in Uganda. That's almost every African country. That is what is happening.
And we don't have a freedom of speech that you can talk in any, and you know, that is too bad. And when you're talking anything about explaining something, you know, they follow you from deep.
Yeah.
They
So
follow you.
yeah, so it's better. I mean, like if you do something, you can be kidnapped or you can be followed by the revenue authority, whatever. So it's just crazy in general. That's why, like, if now there are so many people in Tanzania, they are working. Okay, now I have to find a way to get out. But before, the life was a little bit. I mean, still is politics. It was crazy, but now it's very, very difficult. The life has been for many people. Yeah. So.
All right, guys, I'm out. I'm just out. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and you have a nice evening over there in DC.
You
Hey,
too,
have a
man.
good one, brother.
You too.
Yeah, so those are the few, like, yeah. So African politics, like I was reading today, for instance, I'm giving example something breaking news from Uganda. Bobby Wine purchased the armored vehicle, like the one with bulletproof, everything processed. But now they told you have to return that vehicle back to the company or something because you're not allowed to have the vehicle, which is a bulletproof. But why do you need, like, that's don't make sense. Like, it's my car, I'm high profile person. So those are the things like I don't like about African politics. Yeah, even if I say I have to go to live back in Africa, the biggest question, can I handle the stress of politics, because I studied political science, and every time it's just things go crazy, and you cannot block everything out. So that's why I decided to make this book, explain everything. Because if you say, they can kidnap you, but if you write in the book, they don't read the books. So I can put my frustration in the book. So it's Imperialism 2.0, why Africa. So explaining, like, for instance, like what's wrong with African education. Why do we need to continue to study? For instance, I'm giving example, uh, timber production in Canada while we have timber production in Tanzania. Why do we need to study? I'm giving example, things which are related in African context. Someone we know, for instance, in Africa, we use mobile payment system, M-Pesa, air money, whatever, all those kind of system. But we don't teach, like, in business school, we don't teach them in
Oh,
banking, we don't teach them everywhere. But we come to teach Visa and MasterCard, which in a normal transaction in the market is not doing much of the economy. So there are so many things which we have to change, is like, if we really want to compete.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and I believe that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just looking up your book on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so
is okay? There is a paperback. Okay, because it
there is
was
a paperback.
initially
There is a
yeah,
paperback.
yeah, it was initially trying to give me the an audio book.
Yeah, so audio I didn't put in my English, so you'll be okay. I had to pay
Okay.
professional, because that is another thing I came to learn. If you want to compete in the highest level, you don't need to do everything on your own. One of the weakness of Africa is our culture. We don't have the culture of reading book to a child. So we didn't grow up in that way. So if I read a book as an academician, not reading like a book as a story. So in Western culture, like in America, for instance, people are used to read a book to someone. So someone can be interested to continue to hear that. So those are the people. So there are some people uh, online. You just on Amazon as the author, you give it a certain back end. You can upload your book, and you ask people to read maybe the first 2 pages. Like they do like a demonstration, and you choose which one you want. You can choose a male. You can say I want a female or a male, or this kind of southern, northern, whatever, or general accent. You choose whatever you want. So from there, and it's very, very cheap to do that. So for instance, the entire book, someone read this one, I don't know, for 120 or $100, whatever. So turn it to become audiobook. Yeah. So
Yeah, I like audiobooks, but I also like to have feel the have the physical. So, Mr. Truth, I got a quick military question for you. Like, where all have you been, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, well, with the military, I went to like I said, I was stationed on the East Coast at Little Creek, Virginia. So I went to went to South America and Africa while I was on the East Coast. But when I got in the military, I only did 4 year active duty. When I got in the military, I started doing military contractor, working for like Halliburton, Tiger Swan, Brown Root, Triple Cannabis. So I've been doing that off and on for like last 25 years. So that's how I got the chance to travel. Cause as both of y'all know, once you got in the military, I got in the military in '94. There was a company that was hiring like private military, doing well, wherever your MOS was in the military, they were hiring us to go back overseas. So I've been doing that off and on for like last 23 years. I mean, the money's good, but at the same time, it's kind of hard having a family because just like you being back in the military, getting stationed overseas, because sometimes the contract went anywhere from 6 months to a year or so. I'd have been to 6 different continents. I mean, Australia, Africa, South America, just a whole bunch of different countries. Because we usually go from, we only be in different countries for like a couple months at a time, especially when you're working with like Halliburton, because they go and do checking on gas sample and oil sample. So I tell
Hmm.
them about it. They got military, they try to either get back on doing a military contract or a government job or start your own business.
Guys, my phone is dying. So I'll just jump off and I'll stay in the comment section, but I can't do the video. I'd have to save. Yeah. And thank you guys for joining us. All of you guys, XP, Ray, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll just keep in the comment section, but my battery is dying. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I I got some few contracts to be interpreter. One, I mean, but later was cancelled. I was supposed to go to Djibouti. They were paying very good. They changed the contract on the last minute, like 1 week before I traveled, so I cancelled. There is another one I was to go to Afghanistan. Oh no, was to go to Iraq. That one was very good, but again, the money we didn't agree on finalizing on the money. So there are those kind of opportunities, like they give you a lot, but still
Yes.
it's back to the military life, but it's civilian. You don't have that
Yeah.
stress of the military. You are, yeah.
Yes. Well, you know that there's a lot of contract here stateside now, working for like the FEMA and with the vaccination thing that they got going on. These jobs are paying now. I just have a contract in Illinois. Them jobs now paying like $4,500 a week plus per diem, and I mean, you know, they pay for your flight, your hotel, and I've been doing it like I said, I've been doing this off and on for like last 25 years. But that's why I don't understand why a lot of guys got in the military and then they don't know about the opportunity that they have, even here stateside, to work doing military contract work.
Yeah. Yeah, there are so many opportunities as long as I mean, as long as you make sure that just find the opportunities and don't mess up, especially if you're back from the military, don't mess up your record. Life will be good. Yeah.
Quick question: what made you get into study political science?
Me? Okay. I studied political science. My goal was to study law. And in Tanzania, obviously, you don't decide much. You at the time you apply to a university, 3 programs, and they will choose which one they are going to admit you. So the first one was law and the political science, whatever. So law, they didn't choose me. They took me to political science. I mean, yes, some of I'm number 11 out of 13 children. There are some who study political science, some study law. So that was not a big deal. So I studied political science for my bachelor, but I really wanted to study law. And I did my master's in peace studies and conflict resolution. And now I'm working on non-profit. Yes, most of the things they play part, but overall, they're not more about politics. So yeah. So, but if personal, like right now, if I have to advise someone, I'm not supporting more college education right now because most of the college education is typical basic, preparing someone to go to be employed. I'm okay for someone, let's say, especially this world, like someone wants to do computer, just study computer, get a certification and do great. But going to study like 4 years, you get a student loan, you are going to study even English, you are going to study like wastage of time in the normal reality. If someone wants to do like editing, I mean doing some graphics, whatever, those kind of things, just find a way of getting certification and you can be able to do them. That, I mean, that's what I support more than wasting people's time, like 4 years of studying political science, but inside there you study the unnecessary things like
And you know
welcome.
what?
Yeah.
I agree
Hi
because
guys,
oh hey Ray,
Ciao.
I'm fine. How are you? How are you, ABM, XP, Mr. Truth? Hi guys. I was
good.
like, oh my god, all my friends are here today. I have to join this chat.
And
Benefits for a
you are the
little
one
while.
who texted me, right? Ray, right?
Yeah, I reached out to you on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're supposed
Okay.
to talk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. You haven't found me on WhatsApp. I say, okay, find the number. I give the number. I say, okay,
Yeah,
you are
I
welcome.
will. I'll reach out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you in Uganda now or
I
you
want
are
to,
in Juba?
yes, I'm in Uganda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wanted to comment about XP's art in the background. I think it looks really nice.
You you know, I bought this. I bought these years ago. I was probably over probably like 13 years ago. I bought these from an art convention that I don't know if they still do it, but it's called Anime Weekend Atlanta. It's kind of like
Uh,
those different conventions, but on a specific day in a specific place, they have a lot of different artists that can come in and sell their artwork. And these are just some of the ones that I got from Anime Weekend Atlanta. Yeah, this one right here is actually my favorite because it's
Yeah, they're really.
I think I'm often a lot of times I find myself just in deep thought, and that's just me right there all day.
Okay, that's nice. I just wanted to say hi to you guys very quickly. I'm editing, YouTube live. As YouTubers, it's like 4 a.m. in Kampala. So YouTube live, you just edit when you finish the video. That's when you go to bed.
Exactly. Yeah. How is your YouTube
Yeah,
going?
Yeah. I
sounds
also
like you need to hire an
thought it
editor.
was very interesting, EBM, that you started your channel like 10 years ago. I was like, oh my God, this guy is an old YouTube. Like, geez,
No.
that's
So
so long
that's
ago.
that's why I'm writing a book to explain people the mistake they do. Yes, I started my YouTube 10 years ago, but I didn't know what is YouTube because for me, I was a blogger, so I doing blog since 2007, 2006, whatever. So I've been doing blogs. So when YouTube was, oh, let me create an account. So I was making one video per year. You see that mistake number one. So from 2010 to 2018, I had 8 videos on my YouTube channel. That's number one mistake. Then in 2019, I put like 3, 4 videos, whatever. So I didn't know even YouTube pays. I didn't know like whatever, but I used so much energy to respond to people's question. Like, so I have to give the audio, I have to write like so what will be the easiest way I can be able to respond to so many people in a quicker and easy way? And after learning that I can be able to get paid for what I'm doing, so why not? So that's the time I say, okay, let me take YouTube serious. So that was October 16, 2019. So I said I took an oath to make a video, 1,000 videos in one calendar year, which was tough, but I ended up making almost 800 videos. So
wow.
from that moment, like, so it makes me easier for now. If someone asking me any question, I've already made a video. So listen, watch the video, then I'm coming to give the more updated version if I have to explain to you something. So for me, videos it will become like part of me, like respond to any question. So how to join the military? People are asking the question. These are the procedure. Why should you join the military? These are the advantages. Why should you find a federal job if you are immigrant and you are a US citizen? These are the reasons. So for me, I'm just making it easier while you're helping people, but it helps my time not to spend much time on respond to the same question, because I feel so bad if someone, I remember myself, I was in Africa, someone find your email, write you an email, don't get a response. So someone is asking, how did you go to America? So I can give you the link and explain these are the steps, and I advise you, if you have a good education, education way is the best way because of this one. Oh, I know people go to green card. These are the steps. So to make it easier to get that email from someone abroad, it means a lot.
But you know what's crazy? It seems like a lot of Americans, they be more focused on negative YouTube, just like the information that you talking about. You talking about something positive and something that can help people, but you would get less views, and you go get somebody who got what love and hip hop on the continent, they'll get a million views.
Yeah,
I mean, for something that's not helping nobody. And I've seen that
exactly.
time and time again. And what happened with me about 3 years ago, I had a YouTube channel, and within like 4 months, I had got like 200,000 subscribers. But I was over in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I was just making videos of, you know, when we was having like firefights and stuff like that. And of course, I got a call from the Pentagon like, "Hey, you need to take those videos down." So, I had to go ahead and delete the page. But like we said, people just be more focused on negative stuff than positive things.
And that is a big challenge, yes, especially with a YouTuber. And some people, they get lost, they have to follow the trending topic, even if it's not part of them. So sometimes they put a video there, you get 200 people. Sometimes I look like these 200 people, maybe 5 of them, they might work on this information. So sometimes it's not about the views, it's about what you really want to make a change. But you see the stupid things, like someone has put a stupid video but 1 million views. Like, really? Like, it's so frustrating.
It's so funny because YouTube has no formula, It's right, I'm back, but I don't know, my webcam has issues and my phone couldn't handle the stream, so I've just switched to my laptop.
Oh, okay.
I can see you guys. Unfortunately, you can't see my face because I don't know what's wrong with my webcam. I'll have to get it fixed here. But I didn't hear that bit of the explanation. But of course, yeah, with YouTube, like a funny video can just get so many views and someone makes a lot of money. And then someone who is struggling every day, they are pretty much not making a lot. So it's just a funny place, really,
Yeah.
because it has no formula. So it's
So for
just
me,
there.
I created my personal formula.
Mm-hmm.
My formula is very simple.
Mm.
I have one responsibility, to put the content there of high quality, good audio and whatever. That's my job. Whether people watch or not watching, that will not discourage me from not making the video.
Okay.
It's just like if you assume yourself, you have a child, post your photo on Facebook or Instagram. If you get 5 likes, are you going to deny your child?
Of
Are you
course
not?
not.
No. So your responsibility is your parent to continue. So for my job is I'll continue making videos. I gave myself 5 years, then I'll quit all my job and I'll be doing my YouTube only. So each year I was planning to work 1,000 videos. So I make like 800. So I'm very seriously now. For instance, from this year, every month I have to make like 90 to 100 videos.
Wow.
So that is like the goal. So each year I have a goal, like what.
Wow, that's a lot of work. Oh my God.
Now so now will be
XP,
50.
how many have you made?
So 50 I do on the I created a Swahili channel because the same
Oh.
content not everybody understands in Swahili community. So I created the Swahili video 30 to 50 videos per month, and English I put 30 videos per month minimum.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Can I take a second to answer the question that Henry posted about the
Yes,
helicopter?
that's what, yeah, answer that one because that is your area.
Okay, so yes, you would have the opportunity to be a helicopter pilot, but only officers fly planes or fly aircraft. So you would have to become an officer in order to have the opportunity to be a helicopter pilot.
And you can add that what makes someone to become an officer versus enlisted. What is someone is
Right.
getting?
Okay. Thank you. So you would need a bachelor's degree minimum in order to become an officer, or you can. I think like if you are like graduating out of high school, I don't really know how old you are, but if you're graduating out of, if you just finished high school, then you can go to the Air Force Academy. That's like another route. There are other ways to become officers too, but the main ones is to get commissioned by going to officer training school or by going through the Air Force Academy.
And you must be a U.S. citizen.
Absolutely.
Because if you're a green card holder, you just go as enlisted first. You'll get your citizenship right away. And if you can apply, if you want to become, yeah. That's why I joined as enlisted, even if I had a master's. So, and then while I was in the enlisted, I had to apply to become officer, but Those another story. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, one advantage of green card holder to join the U.S. military before you graduate, most likely before you graduate, you become a U.S. citizen. They give you citizenship. Unless otherwise you don't want to become a U.S. citizen, so it's up to you.
So, EBM,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but you can speak a little bit loud.
Okay. Join the military. First of all, will you take the exam before you join the military, or you just pick your
Yes.
particulars and then?
There is an exam ASVAB. It's just a small modified high school test with the general knowledge about physics, math, English, uh, social sciences. Yeah, there are books to prepare. Nowadays, recently they have modified. Now you can take on you can take even from your home. Like there is sort of they modified the process nowadays in those kind of tests.
Okay, so
I was
for
bad
that
in
one, for how
math.
long?
What?
For how long will you study for
No, you study
the
on
body
your own.
test
You go to
also?
take the test. It's just if you are good even today. So as long as when you take that test, if you don't pass, you have to wait at I don't know. Like there is a time like at least a week or 2 weeks to retake another test if you want to retake it. So there is but they
Okay,
don't care how long you want to prepare. You prepare on your own. If you want to find a tutor or you go online to read on study on your own, you take the test. Yeah, and
all right.
that test will determine what jobs are you going to get because
Yeah, it's called the ads valve.
Okay,
He could go
that
to
is
Books a Million. I know they sell the pre the books to help him to take the ads valve. So yeah, it's the ads valve.
yeah. I put yeah over the ASVAB.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chris, he speaks very fast, so at times I can't hear what he said.
okay. You have to take the ASVAB. Is that
Okay, okay,
is an abbreviation of the exam.
all right.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. So
So
if
slow
you
down
go
for
to the
me.
Google search and you type ASVAB, you'll get it. Yeah.
Okay, I really want to join the army. So if I get a chance to win the lottery, if I can, what I'll do first is the military. I've tried in
Hey,
Ghana, but still it's not
I
working.
don't
I
join the
think
army. I recommend the Navy or the Air
Yeah.
Force. The Army, you're gonna be the first to go. The Army and the Marine gonna be the first to go if a war break out.
I usually tell people if your aim is to get benefits, there are two aims. Yes, by you are serving the country. I agree with that. But if you really want to serve the country, yes, join the army or marine. But if you are concerned more about the benefits, just go and do the navy. Don't have any problem with anybody. Take the easy one or go air force. Yeah.
yeah, benefits and quality of life. I think quality of life is a big one because Army bases and Marine bases compared to Air Force bases, it's no there's no comparison.
But I liked the army's food. I liked it. I went our advanced training. We were at the army base. Man, they had very good. I mean, they had very good food compared to the navy. I said maybe I think maybe that is the way of convincing people to enjoy that life. And they have better. I mean, they have very good uniform too. The
So I have
uniform
a
wise,
question for you guys.
Okay, so even
yeah.
for the training for how months? Like how months will it be in the training section?
Training each
Air
branch is
Force or
different.
Navy?
Navy is 8 weeks. Army is 10. I don't know.
Okay.
Or Marine, I don't know. But
And I think Air Force is 6 to 8 weeks now.
because there are
I think
there
they're
is
around the same.
yeah. There is one they don't count like the day the first week before you do the medical whatever. That really doesn't count because you can arrive in Wednesday whatever. So that doesn't count. So it's going to 7 to 8.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually two types of training. So there's the basic training where they teach you about that military branch, all the customs and courtesies, how to march and just basic knowledge. And then once you graduate basic training or boot camp, then they send you off to the school that you learn for you to learn the job or the career path that you chose or that they chose for you. For example, if you go into medical, you'll go to a school that is going to teach you things about the medical field. It's kind of like a college, and
Yeah.
that uh, it's kind of like a college class, almost a college course.
Do they
Yes, I have
have
a
a
question for you
mechanical in
guys.
Yes. Just go ahead
Should
with
I
your.
ask, or
Yes,
is
ask.
Henry asking?
as I was saying, do they have a mechanical engineering section at the military camp?
The
You said
engineering.
Like if you want to,
you
yeah,
said
engineering,
mechanical
mechanical
engineer.
engineering,
All right,
like
so I'm gonna
automobile.
yes. Um,
Okay,
strictly for automobiles,
yeah,
for okay, or for aircraft.
aircraft and automobile. Like do they
Okay.
teach you?
Yeah, they teach you all of that. There's a job for all of that. However, I will say this, and this is full transparency, the folks who work on the aircraft are not the happiest people in the world because they work crazy long hours. It's a very demanding job. And if you get into that career field and you decide that you don't want to do it anymore, it's not the easiest thing to get out of, because you do have the opportunity that if you join, for example, to be medical, but you want to cross train and do a different career, you will have that opportunity. It's just that some career fields, because the that military branch really needs people in that field, it's more difficult to leave that field because they already have like a shortage. And aircraft maintenance is kind of difficult to get out because they always need people to maintain the aircraft. Those people are usually miserable. I'm just being honest.
Okay,
And also, you have to look for a job which will be, what are you going to do after military? Your life is not going to be there forever. So if you want, your dream is to live in the small city, small town, and you want to be aircraft maintenance where the airport is. So you have to think all those kind of things like, okay, what am I going to do after that? Here, you join the military is not forever, it's a contract. It's not like in Africa you join until you go become old. You sign maybe 4 or 5 years contract depending on a school how it is the advanced training. Most is 4 years. Do you still want to continue? So if you want to go out, what are you going to do? So all those kind of things, like you have to, if
all
you are
right.
planning to do like medical in the
You have
real
to
life,
consider.
so you go to the medical to be able to transition. And if you go to college, you can transfer those credits from advanced training to some of the college courses. It can help you to continue to go there, and the work experience can be transferable to get a good job after.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I would highly recommend going into it um, with a hey, what can I get out of this mindset? Like as a means to an end. What training can I get? What experience can I get? Um, what kind of network can I build with the people? That's
Yes.
that's one thing that I feel is probably undervalued. You're going to meet so many different people from all over from different walks of life. So you're going to build up there's a huge potential to build a big network of friends and references and all of that. So I would go into it looking at it as a stepping stone to what I would want to do after.
Okay.
Ray, you had a question, right?
All
Sorry,
right.
we took more.
Yes,
So,
I wanted to ask you
at what point
guys, but of course,
do they give you break to meet your family?
I didn't hear you.
Henry, you first ask.
So you don't get me.
No.
Uh,
Maybe Ray, can you go ahead?
After them, I have a question.
Okay.
Maybe
Let it, Shorter is going to ask, then Ray, and then we can come back to Henry.
Uh-huh.
I said at what
Hello, everyone.
time?
I'm speaking, right? Or
Yes.
someone is asking question. Okay. First of all, greetings to everyone. Thank you for such a good videos, EBM scholar. You. And I have a question about green card application. I and this, one part of this question I asked already via YouTube, and you answered. But my question concerns the second part, and I will ask the question from the beginning in order to make it clear. While one of my child is American citizen, I have two child, and while filling my DV lottery application, I wrote one child instead two because one of my child is American citizen. And my question is, you told me that it is all right. Okay, thank you. I understand, but the DC application, immigrant visa application, asks the same question: number of children. Here, should I mention as one or two? Because it's different from DV lottery application. You understand?
Yes.
In this DC to 260, should I mention one as a previous one or two? Thank you for your answer.
On the actual visa, you have two options. You can say yes or no, because if you put even if you put you have a child, still the child is American citizen, you are not going to create a separate profile of what we call derivative profile so that they can get the visa. You don't need, you mention I have a child who is American citizen, but you don't create a separate dependent what.
Ah,
Yeah, you don't create a dependent page for that, because the
mhm.
dependent page will be for them to get the visa. So his American citizen or a green card holder doesn't need that. And it is in part of on the
Ah,
application, the lottery application, they say whether you say you have or you don't have, it's not punishable at all because they don't need anything. Even on the visa part, you can mention I have, but they don't need the visa.
So I could mention as I have a child, two child, or
Yes.
one child. If I mention
Yes.
one, is it okay, or I should
You can just go
mention
ahead with
two?
one. You can just say one. The other one is American
Uh-huh.
citizen, doesn't need to go
So,
get the visa. Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
sir, the second question. I am also going to apply for. I am applying for PhD degrees in United States. My TOEFL score is 96, and I got
Wow, that's very
denied
good.
by 5 universities. Does it mean that 96 is not a good score for applying PhD, or I should
Okay.
raise my score
No,
up to 100? What do you
no.
think about this?
The score is very, very good. That one. Have you done the GRI or GMAT examination?
Actually, I did GRE, but this year most university do not require, and I haven't submitted it.
Okay. Number one.
Because of COVID, they don't.
Yes.
Sir, by the way, I know that my question is not about green card. Second question is not about green card, but why I'm asking the question, because you are speaking about these topics also in your YouTube channel, and that's why I'm asking
Yes.
the question, because I have the chance to talk with you. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So number one, you are not the only one who is looking for PhD scholarships. There are so many people. So it's not about your score.
Mhm.
Assume you have applied the New York University NYU. There are 100 applicants. They admit only 5 to give them scholarship. So even if
I
all
see.
have everything the same,
Nice.
Some they'll be denied. So that's how it is. So my advice number one, don't apply 5 universities, apply 20, apply more than 10, 15, whatever. When I applied for my master's, I applied 25 universities. I got 3. I applied the PhD, but I didn't go.
Nice.
I applied 15, I got 2. So in average, in 7.5 universities, I got 1. When I applied 25 universities for masters, I got 3. So average about 8 universities, I got 1. My advice usually tell people minimum 10, but apply 15 and the above. Cristiano Ronaldo, until he's going to score 1 goal, or Messi, how many shots are they put on target? A lot of goals, a lot of shots. So what I can do,
I see.
I put a link
And
here.
Mhm.
On the link here is my free PhD book. This one you can download the book. Is a free one. It's called PhD
thank you. Thank you.
Scholarships for Africans in the United States. Even if I say it's for Africans, but it's not for Africans, it's for everybody. So this book, I've
Nice.
explained the process, everything. But what program do you want to study? For instance, if you say you want to study management,
Political
so all
science.
universities, what?
Nice.
Which one?
P-
So if
political
you
science.
political science. So if you want to political science, all universities with political science giving you 100% scholarships for international students, they'll be here. University One, the link and everything, they'll be here. So if you download the version, you can be able to click the link and you go there. So it's almost 500 pages
Thank
free.
you. Sir, last question, please. I apologize for other people who are waiting for ask questions. My last question will be: so, if I am self-funded, does it mean that I have more chances to get accepted? If I mention it in my application that I don't need any kind of funding, does it mean that they will accept me easily?
So if you don't need funding, are you going to pay for yourself? My advice is
Yeah.
to study PhD in America. It's very expensive. It's 4 to 5 years program. You'll pay over 100,000 US dollar. So instead of paying all this money, you can invest to
I
apply
don't.
for main. If you apply for, let's say, I assume you take 3,000 US dollar, you invest in application, you can apply maybe 30 universities. It's a guarantee to get it. So you invest 3,000 or 2,000 for applications, but what you are going to gain, it will be each year you are getting over 20,000 maybe just for living expenses. Then they pay for your tuition. So if you include, it's over 50,000 per year. So it is better to spend the 3,000 whatever to get a scholarship than spending 100,000 to get a PhD.
I know, sir, but if I'm self-funded, generally I'm saying because
It's very easy,
in
yeah,
the
because
future
there
I
are
will be also. The
if you are
point is
self,
that in a near future I will be green card holder and I could pay state tuition fee after 1 year or 2 year
yes.
according to the state law, you know. So it means that if I am self-funded and I mention it in my application, they could accept me easily, right? Generally, I am saying
Yes.
I ask this question not particular a question
Yeah.
certain university, but general universities. So if I am self-funded, it means that I have more chance,
chances.
you know, to get accepted.
Yes.
Generally.
Yes.
I see. Thank you very much. I
welcome.
appreciate your help.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How about you?
I'm doing good.
Just so I'm at work, but I just saw you. You are doing live stream, and I just said let me say hi to you, and I have some questions to ask you.
Thank you so much.
So please, I just want to know about working in the American system is different from working in the Middle East. As they say in Middle East, they will come to Africa to hire the employees and bring them to their country to work for them. So actually, if work different. But in the United States, you come there and find your own work. Like if you want the work, you can work. If you don't want the work, you can take another job. But in the Middle East, it's not like that. Like for example, McDonald's they came to Ghana and they hired us to come here and work for them. So there are some things that I don't know, like workman's camp or something like that they call it. I don't understand. Like insurance and that kind of stuff. I don't know
Yeah,
whether like here we have something we call this oh, I forgot this one. ESB or that we have something we call ESB, and some of them see pension like pension money or that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
yes. Advantage here. Number one, the jobs. Even Stephen might just say something. The contract for jobs we call most of the states, almost more than 47 states, they have we call employment or contract at hire, whatever. At will, contract at will means you can go today at your job, they can fire you, and you can go to your job and decide I'm quitting the job. No hard feeling. They can fire you as long as it's not on discrimination reason, like you are pregnant woman, they fire you because you are pregnant, or they fire you because you are a woman, they fire you because you are black, or they fire you because you are white. So if it's not that particular reason, they don't need you to give a reason. Whether the performance, they can fire you anytime. So and you yourself, you can quit a job, you can start another job without impacting you the other job. Yes, in a normal way, you have to say goodbye to other people in a nice way, so that if they get reference in a good way to create a good bridge. But here you can change. You can go to one job to another. Certain jobs they require some more extra training. For instance, insurance, you cannot sell insurance unless otherwise you have the license from the state. So there are certain requirements. There are certain jobs they require special kind of certification or training. There are some it's just what you know, or some they train you. Yeah.
So, but like jobs such as like Amazon, Walmart, and like McDonald's and stuff. I don't know whether they have like monthly this like
Every
one
day.
company here they will give you monthly. They will, you need to get incentives like every month and that kind of stuff. I don't know whether they to the system was like that or not.
You're asking how you get the job, or how much, how do they pay?
Yeah,
Frequency.
like if they hire you and you'll be working there like every month, would they give you some like bonuses and that kind of stuff? I don't know because here
It
it's like
depends.
that every month.
It depends on the company. The bonus it depends on the company. Not all the company they give bonus, but salary wise, some get paid per hour, but on most like bi-weekly after every 2 weeks, or every other week. So most likely you get paid 26 times in a year. Or some places just exactly 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. They take the Or so there are different ways how they arrange payment. Some they pay every week. But overall, uh, there are certain jobs, most like productive jobs, production. They have, if you meet certain quota or certain thing, they can give bonus. But there are certain jobs you don't measure the success on, especially like NGO. They don't give bonuses, whatever. Most of the NGO. So it depends on the job to job.
So just like just talking about just the normal jobs, those that do not require any certificates and like working there,
No,
like
they
Amazon.
don't.
And that kind of thing.
You just they train you like how to use the equipment or something. That's all. Just like 1 day training. That's all.
Okay.
Unless otherwise, it's just like if you are carrying the stuff with the forklift, you have to get certified because there is an exam you have to take to be certified to drive that one. It's just like a driving license.
Yeah.
So there is forklift certification.
So, but I just want to know, like, can you, like, a person be able to survive, like, working? Because people are saying, like, if I'm working in McDonald's or Amazon, like, it's not a surviving job. I don't know whether this is really true or not.
It, it depends what you want. You can survive on, for instance, McDonald's. I mean, Amazon they pay better. I mean, $15 per hour. Mostly, like, basically, to start a job. So it depends. $15 per hour. You per week is 160 hour. I mean, per week is 40 hours, per month 160 hours. So 160 times $15, 2,400. They'll take a lot of good tax over there. So let's say you remain by 1,700. If you are single, you can survive to start with. But if you want to go further, that's some people they get more good job or they have two jobs. Yeah, depending on what you spend and everything.
Because
Yeah,
like most of the migrants, like for instance, like me like this, if I maybe by God permits, if I win the lottery, like for education, Africa, we have a lot to do. Sometimes if you are here going to school, it will be like you're wasting your time. Why don't you work and get money? African parents, they will say, why don't you work and get money? School is waste of time. So that's why I'm just asking all these questions because we love to work more than to school because it's like school is education is waste of time, and that one is the
yeah,
best also. You suffer today and tomorrow you gain more. Like for instance, I have a friend in Italy who is going to school there, and those are working. And some of them are working, but he was
yeah,
like he's wasting his time going to school. But when he finished the school, he get the good job more than the friends that started working before him.
yeah.
So I just
First
want
of
to
all, I
know
have to.
if
Uh,
yeah.
First of all, I have to say thank you for Miguel. You say you want to leave, right?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ninja out.
Yeah. So
But
I want to say thank you so much for first of all for being here, sharing. I will just get in touch with you. Maybe yeah. I will find you. Send you a message. I don't know how to send you a message. Let
oh,
me see.
uh, I'll put my IG and
Yeah,
email in the private chat.
that would be
Yeah,
good. Thank
yeah. But thank
But
you for having me on the live.
Miguel mentioned the countries that he would like to visit in Africa. He mentioned Ghana also as well. But Ghana also is a nice country. It's a nice country to be.
I'm looking forward to. I'm actually gonna try to be in Ghana later this year. So that's
Yeah,
the plan.
yeah, you will like it more than Jamaica.
That's a hard sell, man. That's a hard sell. Jamaica was awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, myself.
Jamaican seniors are Ghanaians. They will like it more than Jamaica.
Yeah, myself. I have
You
to
can
also
wicked,
tell.
Mr. Easy.
Yeah, I'm saying myself. I have to end because I've been receiving a lot of texts. The kids are about to have dinner, so I have to go to eat dinner with them.
Okay, sir, no
Yeah,
problem.
I've been here. We have been
You
here for
have plenty.
almost 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to say thank you and to end the broadcast because I have to go to help the kids. Yeah,
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Okay, goodbye, everyone.